least 11 people are dead after a shooting during a Jewish holiday celebration at Sydney's Bondi Beach.
Yeah, it's for the first night of Hanukkah. Police are investigating the mass shooting as a terrorist attack. KTLA's Aaron Myers is live in Pico Robertson with more about what we know about this terror investigation and how it's reverberating here at home. And Aaron, I know at this hour we have a lot of new reaction locally.
Hi, you two. Good morning. Well, we know that Jewish organizations are being told to take precautions at locations and at events, and I'll have more on that in just a moment. But as you said, Australian officials, they are considering this a terrorist attack, and we do have video we can show you. This is when shots rang out, and I want to warn you that it may be disturbing. You can hear multiple gunshots at Bondi Beach. It's believed more than 1,000 people were at this event, which was celebrating the first night of Hanukkah, when two gunmen opened fire on the crowd, sending people running. The organizers of the event called it a perfect family event to celebrate light, warmth, and community. A night meant to be filled with live entertainment, music, games, and activities for all ages. A witness saying at least one child was among the injured.
I seen like a kid, like she was like maybe 8 years old. She got injured on the leg and she was crying and she was on the ground.
And this video graphic as well. Authorities say that these are possibly the two gunmen. You can hear them shooting. Now, we are told one of the gunmen was shot and killed by police. The other arrested and is said to be in critical condition. Along with the 11 victims that were killed, another 29 people were injured, including 2 police officers. Officials have declared this a terrorist attack due to the type of event that was targeted and the weapons used. The state's premier saying this attack was designed to target Sydney's Jewish community. A number of suspicious items were located in the area, including an improvised explosive device found in one of the suspects' cars. CNN says officials are still seeing if there are any other suspects involved. Now, a local rabbi in Sydney spoke out about anti-Semitism in Australia and abroad.
There has been a terrible amount of anti-Semitism in the world right now, and we felt a lot of that here too. And unfortunately, when we allow things like that to go unchecked, these are the things that inevitably do happen.
The Secure Community Network is urging Jewish organizations to take precautions, saying to coordinate with local law enforcement, extend event security perimeters, have pre-screened invitation lists, require registration and verification events, have access control, remain vigilant, and add armed law enforcement or security. Now back here live, speaking of law enforcement, the LAPD says there is no threat here in Los Angeles, but they will be upping their patrols at Jewish facilities and at events. They say they're also monitoring the situation for any developments. Reporting live here in Pico Robertson, I'm Aaron Myers. I'll send it back to you both in the studio.
This is a quote from Winston Churchill. Never let a good crisis go to waste. And the way that this is looking is that they're going to use this recent event to further push towards digital ID and, you know, having the more and more unrighteous decrees pushed forth. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutation, brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I'll prepare this lesson be edifying to the elect. So, you know, this incident was very interesting. It happened on I believe it was Sunday. A few days ago. Actually, we were at camp, so we didn't even know it was happening, you know, until after the fact. But it's very interesting how, you know, let me pull this up. How you have this talking point of you see it, which, you know, brothers, we always go into it. You know, it's not Semitism, it's Shem. It would be Shem, the man Shem, right? One of the three sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, you know, and Jacob and Esau came from Shem. So we can't be anti that, because that would be anti ourselves, but that's another lesson for another time. But that's how these devils use it, you know. But it's just interesting how these things are happening, you know. October 6th, the whole thing, and why they're over there warring right now with Gaza and everything. And now all of a sudden this happens, and, you know, that small hat on the interview saying, you know, oh, it needs to be taken care of, or whatever his ass said. You know, so they're going to use these events to push these unrighteous decrees. Let's get that. Because let's get this first. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices. We already see what these devils are up to. Now, whether, you know, it was organic or not, I don't know. But I mean, if I had to guess, I would say it was some kind of FF event in order to push forward with this movement that Net and Not a Jew has been saying, in order to, you know, pretty much persecute anybody that comes up against them, you know, because the spotlight has been put on them, because as the scriptures say, that wicked shall be revealed, the son of perdition, and they're the top of the wicked. They're the ones that own everything. They're the ones that are, you know, paying off, you know, both, you know, wars and all that. The ones that own the slave ships. For you Israelites that didn't know that, they are the top enemy of Israel, of the world. Never mind just Israel, of the world. Even their own people, even other Edomites cannot stand a lot of these small hats, tiny tops, man. So now they have to, as I've been saying this a lot lately, these devils are professional villains and victims. Anytime they'll do all this evil shit, and then when they start getting called out for their shit, then they have something happen so that they could look like the victim. So everybody, oh, you know, they've been through so much. Oh, but what about Jake? Jake is constantly getting attacked. Constantly being called the villain, and constantly being beaten down, but yet nobody says anything about Jake. That's how you know who the true children of Israel are. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So we shall see, but it's very interesting how this damn demon right here has been saying, you know, that they have to, people, Western governments in particular, meaning Edomite governments, that's what they mean when they say that, so-called white people, right? European nations, including Babylon the Great, aka America. He demands that they heed Israel's warnings and fight you see it. So let's read a little bit of this. Benjamin, not a Jew, is demanding that all Western governments do everything in their power to fight you see it. Following the T attack that deleted 15 people in a Hanukkah celebration in Australia. Now you already see how it's like we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We can see where this is going. In a brief video message shared by his office, the Israeli Prime Minister demanded that Western governments do more to combat anti and to protect the Ish communities worldwide. Quote, I demand that Western governments do what is necessary to combat anti and provide the required security and protection for the Ish communities around the world. Netanyahu said in a video before, adding, they would do well to heed our warnings. I am demanding action now. So he's threatening. Oh, we got the video. Let's hear it.
אני דורש מממשלות המערב לעשות את מה שנדרש כדי להילחם באנטישמיות ולתת את הביטחון הדרוש, את ההבטחה הדרושה לקהילות היהודיות בעולם. וכדאי שיקשיבו לאזהרות שלנו. אני דורש מהם פעולה עכשיו.
Yeah, so he's talking in this damn Yiddish language, but yeah, but you see it, you know. So this is the what's appearing to be the what's going to be used to forward their wicked agendas. And I came across this article today from the People's Voice as well. He says world leaders to adopt Australia's tyrannical digital ID system in wake of Bondi Beach attack. Says lawmakers in several Western countries, once again, are preparing to adopt Australia's draconian digital ID systems in the wake of Bondi Beach T attack this week. And as the scriptures say, let's get that. Well, there's two scriptures coming to mind. Let's get Psalms first. Psalms, is it 94? Salakia. 94, 20? Khan. Barakatah Yahawashi. Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? So they're going to use these events to put these unrighteous decrees, these mischief through these laws, in order to ultimately get Jake off the street, man. Get us the prophets off the street, man. You know? Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and particularly these small hats, right? The top devil of the devils, right? Is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So if they're gonna try to accomplish their 2030 agenda, it's about to be 2026. So that means that they have to make moves in order to get to that point before, because they want to have it done by 2030. So that means they have to do these things, you know. And this would be a crisis that could very well be used to bring in the MO to the TB, man. You know, they could say, oh, well, if we had, everybody, had digital IDs, we knew everybody that came into the vicinity, blah, 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 the area, this, that, and the third, then we could have prevented it, and blase, blase, blah, That's how these devils operate. Well, we shall see, but we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. The Australian model, which blocks children under 16 from joining social media platforms and forces all adults to submit ID to access websites, has quickly become a reference point for politicians abroad who describe it as a child safety measure. As the scriptures say, though they pretend to help thee, yet they shall undermine thee. Right? They always come crouching, but yet take good heed of them. As the scriptures say, never trust thy enemy. You know, they let me get it, because I was listening to Apostle Gabar earlier, and he brought it out, Psalm 64. This is the time that we're in, man. These devils they know that they're on borrowed time, man. So they gotta move in order to do these things, because their time is up. It's almost up. Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet, meaning sharpen, their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, right? The Israelites. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately, right? Traps. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. You know? So this is what these devils do, man. They literally plot, plan, scheme all these things in order to snare up Jake, man, in particular, but all the people, right? Because as it says in Revelation, the 13th chapter, you know, he calls of all, both small and great, and we'll get that, Lord's will. It says, has quickly become, I'll start from the top. The Australian model, which blocks children under 16 from joining social media platforms and forces all adults to submit ID to access websites, has quickly become a reference point for politicians abroad who describe it as a child safety measure, while others warn it could normalize digital identity tracking, which is the point. Infowars.com reports, in the United States, Senator Katie Britt of Alabama says she hopes Australia taking this step leads the U.S. to actually doing something, which is what they want. They want to have digital ID here as well, but they can't come at the American people so directly, so they have to use other tactics to come in like the damn serpent that they are, man. It says, Britt, a mother of two, is one of the sponsors of the bipartisan Kids Off Social Media Act, which would prevent children under 13 from using social platforms. And look at what this says. Leaked documents reveal Bondi Beach FF was Mossad operation to take out the First Amendment. And I mean, hey, I have to watch the video. We won't get into it now. But I wouldn't be surprised by that, you know, because, you know, these devils always use different tactics to fool the people. Hence the reason why they're the devil and Satan, you know. Devil means deceiver, you know. As the scriptures say, they be born speaking lies. You know, you can't trust the devil as far as you could throw him. Let me see. Senator Josh Hawley, a Republican member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, told the Sydney Morning Herald that he supports similar limits. I like it. I've supported age limits. Yeah, let's see. You know, Hawley, author of The Tyranny of Big Tech, said he has spoken with Australian stakeholders about the ban, though he did not identify them. Yeah, I mean, you know, let's see what this says. Yeah, so I mean, they're pretty much making it, about the children. What about the children? But there's a bigger play at hand. It says mandatory age verification carries significant privacy risk. Systems designed to verify age often rely on sensitive data such as government-issued identification, biometric scans, or facial images. Once introduced, such data infrastructure can be extended for other purposes, allowing broader forms of monitoring, record keeping, and speech suppression. And that's exactly what it's all about, man. We are not ignorant of you devils' devices, man. And this is what is going to come out of that, because who are the men that they could easily target with this anti-Sem crap? The men of the Lord, because we're always speaking out against them. That's our job, to speak from Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, to speak out against them and telling them that they're not the people and we're the people. And that's what they're trying to combat. So they're coming at it in a slithery way to get the men of the Lord off the streets, because they know that they're losing. Amos 8, and this is what's coming. This is why you Israelites need to stop playing around, the ones that are, and seek your power while he may be found, because soon the Lord will make the men of the Lord's tongue cleave to the roof of their mouths, and they won't be out preaching anymore because of events like this that's going on. And the devil using events like that to say, oh, it's all this, ish hate, and we got to stop this hate, and even though they're the ones that are going around deleting Palestinians by the hundreds. But we got to worry about the big noses all the time, though. They're the most important people, even though they lie about every damn thing. Anyway. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Why? Because of all these unrighteous decrees that these devils are going to put forward using events like this. Isaiah 29 and 21. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. As the scriptures say, they hated him that reproveth in the gate. They abhorreth him. They hate what we do, the men of the Lord. They hate the words of the Lord coming out. That's why they would make a whole nother book outside of the Torah, the Talmud, so they can go, as the scriptures say, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes in thy mouth? Seeing that, let me get it. Because you devils are being exposed, man. Ain't nobody feeling bad for you damn devils. Everybody, people all over the place are protesting, saying how evil and disgusting you people are. And you're going into panic mode, man. What has declare my statutes? There it goes. Declare. Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked, who's the wicked? Esau, Edom. Malachi, the 1st chapter, 4th verse. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, right? The fugitive and the vagabond. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee? The same spirit of Cain, man. These are the same people. They had the instruction. Cain had the instruction to make the correct sacrifice, and what did he do? He didn't listen. He hated instruction, and he did what he wanted to do. And that's the same spirit that these goddamn devils are in. And that's why the world is in the position that it's in. And that's why everything's happening. That's why they're falling. Everything's happening because they refuse to follow instruction, but ultimately because it's prophecy and they're the wicked. The scriptures, well, the scriptures and the Bible dictionary speaks about how Esau is the only neighbor of the Israelites that is not promised any mercy. Roughly paraphrasing. And the scriptures say that he shall receive no mercy who have shown no mercy. So you devils are through, man. All praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. And I hope and pray that I get to witness, continue to witness your downfall until your ultimate downfall, and until you goddamn top banking families go directly into slavery, man. You know, bind, like the scriptures say, bind their kings with fetters of iron, man. They're talking about you punk ass top bacon families, man. Y'all gonna be the first products of slavery, man. Since you wanted to be evil and do all this disgusting shit all over the earth, oh yeah, you're gonna be the first ones to go into it, man. Into slavery, man. And the scriptures say double onto them. Fucking devils, man. Because this is what they want to do. They really believe that they can achieve godlike status on earth. And a part of their NWO is to have all the people under this digital system, this digital slavery, where people won't be able to do anything. They won't be able to freely roam. They'll be tracked and traced and monitored and listened to and all this bullshit. And at the same time eating GMO foods and breathing in chemtrail fucking air, drinking fluoride water. If you're an Israelite and you don't know that this is hell, you are seriously blinded, man. And that these devils are not your fucking friend. They never will be, and they will not be ruling with Israel in the kingdom. They're ruling now. What the fuck sense does that make? Anyway, but this is what they want, and the Lord said that they're not going to be able to accomplish their enterprise. I believe that's Job, the 5th chapter. So they're going to try, and they're going to get a lot of jakes, a lot of people, period. But the Lord's going to protect their elect, man. The Lord said he have reserved 7,000 men that will not bend the knee to Baal, right, to this devil. 7 going into completion, right? A complete amount of men that will not, worship the beast or his image, So Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, who? The devil, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's that mark of the beast, which is that RFID CHIP. And that no man might buy or sell save he, except he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So they're definitely moving towards this, and they're gonna use, these different tactics, to push forward towards it, and this could very well be the beginning of something major happening with this digital ID and getting everybody acclimated with being what everybody already is, because everybody has a cell phone. A lot of people pay with their cell phone, and people have, as RFK Jr. said, he wants everybody to have the smart watches and different things of that nature. So they're already getting people used to dealing with technology, paying, and cash is phasing out. Most people, I don't even see people pay with cash that often. Usually it's just older people, but it's all a part of their plan to have everybody, on the Internet of Things. So everybody's linked to it so that they can turn on and off different things. If you choose not to, go along with whatever, they can turn your, you have an electric car, turn your damn car off. You have an electric stove, turn that shit off. And more importantly, you have the RFID chip, which you have to use to buy and sell. Turn that off. Have it linked up to your social credit score. So if you cross the, like Demolition Man, you swear too many times, they see you cross the street without crossing the crosswalk, whatever, man. That these devils are out of their fucking mind, but they really think that they can achieve godlike status on earth. But they're in for a rude awakening, because Bahasham Yahawashi got something special for these devils, man. So you sincere brothers and sisters, let's we got to keep the faith, keep Bahasham Yahawashi at the forefront of all of our thoughts. Remember that Yahawah and Yahawashi will have mercy upon their elect. We got to pray that we get the sheer mercies of King David, man. And pray for mercy from Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, because we're gonna need it. We're gonna need that hedge of protection desperately in these times when this devil continues to come down with great wrath, and comes down with even more wrath in these days to come. So I hope and pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out to listen and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of this bitch. Salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say Shalom, Abba Babal, Abad Esau Edom, and Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, Shalom. To the next one.